And welcome to KBLP LLC, brought to you by King's Cannabiz. This is The Walking Dead, and we'll be right back to discuss this week's episode. Don't go away.
That heat so bad I could taste the fire on your breath. And I want it in your storm so bad I could taste the lightning on your breath. I watched you hold the sun in your arms while he bled to death. Grew so pale next to you. The world is so pale next to you. Your hair is coxcomb red, your eyes are viper black. Your hair is coxcomb red, your eyes are viper black. You said every road is a good road. Between the next road and your last road, every love is your best love, and every love is your last love, and every kiss is a goodbye. Every kiss is a goodbye. I watched you hold the sun in your arms while he bled to death. He grew so pale next to you. The world is so pale next to you. Your hair is coxcomb red, your eyes are viper black. Your hair is coxcomb red, your eyes are viper black. Your hair is coxcomb red, your eyes are viper black.
Oh my Lord, take this road, lay me at the bottom of the river. The devil has come to carry me home, lay me at the bottom of the river. Oh my Lord, take this hand, save me from the gallows, shed this news. sins gonna wash me clean if the river don't run dry. Oh my Lord, take this soul, lay me at the bottom of the river. The devil has come to carry me home, lay me at the bottom of the river. Blood upon the valley. Take this sword, the ill I've done, deliver me from worry. The devil's hand's gonna strike me down, cut me to my grave. The river song's gonna pull me through, the river she can save. Oh my Lord, take this soul, lay me at the bottom of the river. The devil has come to carry me home, lay me at the bottom of the
Feathers of angels stuck beneath your his wallet leather? Is his wallet fat? For not a year later, it's got you lying on your back. You should have closed your windows and got another dog. You should have chained up all the doors and switched up all the locks. And how many times have I prayed? The angels would speed me away. Dream with the feathers of angels stopping
Okay, are you ready for this episode? It was rather interesting to say the least. Give me a second here. I'm trying to get one more thing posted for this, and then we'll get to it. Had some issues here. Sometimes these phones are a pain in the butt, for sure. Hope you enjoyed playing a B.O.B. last night. It was kind of cool. I thought it was great. Hopefully we're not banned. It was great, but it's crazy stuff, crazy stuff. We were talking about zombie deer last night, so it was rather interesting to say the least. Okay. Alrighty. And thank you, Lindsay, if you're listening, for the birthday wishes. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay. Okay, let's get to this episode. Omega. Yeah. I I wouldn't believe a single word that girl said. It's so warped in her mind that she doesn't even know what the truth is at this point. So, should we believe anything Lydia says? No. Take it with a grain of salt. Maybe pick out some pieces that would be. Okay. Let me get my notes here. Oh, dear God, this pain in the butt. All right. A lot of things, a little things going on. We got a little backstory on Alpha. I'm Alpha. Yeah. Interesting character for sure. We know kind of what happened, but do we really? I think it's just a mixture. Totally. A mixture. I don't know what's true, what isn't. And I don't think she would reveal as much as she did. Totally. Okay. Daryl said it. Some people just aren't meant to be parents, for sure. And we'd heard, of course, Lydia's stories about her mother. And this, of course, this was just the chilling tip of the iceberg. There could be no doubt that the she-beast herself, who calls herself Alpha, was one of those people. How bad was she? Pretty bad, apparently. Once upon a time, right, we talk about, Lydia recalled for Henry. Henry's on my last nerve. What an idiot. Keep your mouth shut. What is wrong with him? I call him the new Sam. Sorry, but that's what he is to me. Leave him out for the walkers. I'm sorry. Anyway, Lydia recalled for Henry. And, of course, you know, they're outside listening. I loved it. Day 23 of the apocalypse, which found that then she was about 6 years old, Lydia, holed up with her folks and some other survivors. They were in this basement, kind of a crappy basement, moldy. And Frank, her dad, described as being vaguely menacing, kind of like Carol's husband was at the beginning. Remember, she kept her hair short because you couldn't grab it then. And we hope he rests in pieces, right, to this day. She recalled Mom as being sweet, funny, and she always called checkmate while playing checkers, and reassuring enough, and sung her daughter, Lydia the Tattooed Lady, when she was scared. That's a Groucho Marx tune, by the way. And the way Lydia mentioned, kind of in passing, that their mothers weren't folks that one mess with. What are you saying here? Big confrontation? What? Maybe Alpha and Carol down the line. Ooh, because you know Henry said you don't want to mess with her. Excuse me. So that could be in the works. A showdown with Carol and Alpha. And then you got Henry's so-called attempts to flirt with Lydia. He offers her one of his eggs that he'd been served for breakfast. And, pass, she said, hunger's a gift. Okay. There you go. Hunger's a gift. All our that's our new diet slogan. Hunger's a gift, okay? And Lydia asked Henry why he was being nice to her. And he remembered that when he'd been found along with his father and brother, yay, Benjamin, by the way, shout out to Benjamin, they'd been so messed up that they'd need a lot of people being nice to them to make things okay. And he says, you think I'm messed up? No, Lydia asked Henry, you think I'm messed up? The Walker skinwearer without a trace of irony. You think I'm messed up? Yeah, I'd say so. Henry, yeah, Henry implied as he questioned how hunger was a gift. She said, if I have to explain it, you wouldn't understand. Okay, anyway, it was never going to be okay again. Her dad had said so. Hey, Stephen. Anyway, yeah, you messed up. You think she's messed up? Oh, yeah. I'd say so. It's just crazy stuff, this dialogue between the two of them. I don't know if she really understood what he was saying, to tell you the truth. I don't know. I don't know if she understood some of the words. We're going to find out. And going back to the shelter and said, her father says no one's coming for them. But, her mother's like, oh, yeah, sure is Lydia. He's just kidding. Seriously, okay. And she sings to her. And then Lydia's recalling the story in her cell to Henry. Henry tells Lydia about Carol, who would do anything to protect him. As we well know. Whoosh. He asks more about her parents, and Lydia thinks about her father dying from a stab wound. And she also says how her mother is relentless. So then we flash to Tara and Magna. Another interesting side thing here. They're leading a small group from Hilltop to find Luke and Alden. They find a group of walkers feasting on their horses. Great. Connie notices the horses were cut open with knives. Even though that indicates this just wasn't the work of the dead. Tara says they should keep investigating before drawing conclusion. Tara, smack you upside the head. No, this wasn't your typical walker doing this, okay? Anyway, we're back in the jail, and Lydia tells Henry about the day the survivors in that shelter decided to leave. And her father tried to go with them, but her mother decided they're staying to protect their daughter. And he calls her delusional and starts trimming his beard, saying that with the apocalypse, he does what he wants now. All right, cool, dude, all right. But despite that, Lydia's mother continues playing checkers with her to help her feel safe, and she always says checkmate. And then Henry tells Lydia her mom seems nice. Henry, stop it. I like to say more, but that's all I'm saying. Henry, just stop it. Her mom seems nice. Yeah, okay. And reveals they're from another community, the kingdom. His father, King Ezekiel. And she asks him, how far away is it? Not too far. What, are you stupid? Wow, he'd be the worst person to keep a secret, for sure. He's not the brightest crayon in the box here. Of course, Daryl flings open the doors and flies downstairs, grabs Henry and throws him outside. And he's like, you're endangering your family. And, you've been listening? Yeah, we have been in shifts. Get over it. Henry lashes out and calls him an asshole. Really? Wonder who the one is, saying he should get the information for himself. Well, he tried that, obviously. So we put you in there, Henry. Daryl notices Lydia's been kind of tugging on her ear and stuff, and he brings medicine for her ear. And she refuses. And he asks her about Luke and Alden missing, of course, which he says she knows nothing about. He inquires about her mother, of whom Lydia says did anything she had to survive. Then we flash back to the shelter, And the survivors who didn't leave are freaking out as gunshots are heard outside. Lydia's mother jumps on a man yelling for help and strangles him. Shut up. I'm like, whoa, she just manhandles him, don't she? Gets him on the ground and strangles him. Frank comforts Lydia by singing, Lydia the Tattooed Lady, just like her mother. Daryl says her mom did what she had to do. And Lydia tells him it didn't make it any easier. Okay. She's pulling on her ear again, and Daryl tosses her the meds, reminding her the people at Hilltop will help her if she helps them. Goes both ways. She asks him for water, and when he gets close, she tries grabbing him. He grabs her arm and pulls up her sleeve, and there's a series of cut marks, and that she goes hiding back in the corner again. I think she tried to hit him with a dipper too, if I'm not mistaken. So she goes hiding back in the corner. We flash back to the woods. Off to the woods we go. Yumiko suggests that they leave to search for Luke again, but Magna warns they could lose everything if they disobey. They're going to sneak out, and if they disobey Tara's wishes. Yumiko reminds them from that their crew is ride or die, so they all agreed to leave that night. Meanwhile, we have a couple of whisperers. Watch Hilltop close. They're watching close by for sure. That evening, Daryl visits Lydia again to find out more about her bruises. She was fighting them on the bridge. I think that's where she got some of them. But anyway, she says she got them from her mom. So Daryl asks why she won't tell her where she is, and tells her she's safer here than out there, but she disagrees and said her mother's abuse makes her hard. Daryl calls bullshit, of course, but Lydia says staying soft makes you die. Ooh, she's harsh. Harsh. I think some of the bruises and cuts she got from fighting them out there on the bridge. You ask me. I don't think her mom is totally in that. Anyway, we're back to the shelter again. That guy she strangled, Lydia checks one of the dead survivors who turns, and she starts walking away, and he gets up. He turns into a walker. Her dad, Frank, wrestles it, saves her, but he gets bit in the neck and dies from this. Okay. Present day, Lydia tells Daryl her father was weak and can see he's tougher and belongs with her people more than his own. Yeah, you're not soft, you're hard. You don't belong here. Okay. And then Henry confronts Daryl, who says Lydia is Tara's problem now. Yeah. Honestly. Henry asks about his friendship with Carol and tells him she kept her hair so short because Ed used to pull it and abuse her when it was long. That's exactly why. So I don't think her mother totally abuses her. Like I said, she's been fighting along with the rest of them, so I think that's where some of them come from, not all from that. And then they found a way. They've been watching, and they found a way out underneath the wood path. Remember, that goes up, and there's a tunnel underneath, so they can get out. So that's how they get out and leave that night. And they go into the woods to search for Luke, and of course get attacked by a walker. What a surprise, right? You're out in the dark. They kill it, and Yumiko has second thoughts about leaving, and then Kelly argues they can't leave Luke. Well, you don't know where he is. Why are you going to do this? Why are you going to risk your necks in the dark looking for Luke? You don't even have any clue where they're at. Anyway, Magna and Connie back her up, and Kelly breaks down, reminding them Luke saved her. Connie comforts her and lets Magna and Yumiko know they can return without him. We'll catch up with you. She goes, really? Don't worry, we'll be fine. And then we're back to the jail cell. Henry gets the keys and frees Lydia so they can hang out outside. And he's like, just for a bit, cool? And she's like, cool, which I don't think she knows what that means at this point. And there's somebody out there, so they quickly get behind this building. And she begins digging for dinner, apparently. She immediately grabs a worm and eats it. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I was like, oh. And, and then she digs another one up and kind of cleans it off and gives it to Henry. Okay, it's no eye socket licking, but he eats it. But it's a start. Henry shows her around as she sneaks in. If you know, she was going to grab that hammer and hit him. You know damn well she was, until she hears the baby cry. And she'd have got away with it too, probably. But that baby starts crying and triggers some more memories from the shelter. And she repeats, she's a good person. And then asks Henry, take me back to my cell. So he takes her back, and we see, of course, Daryl's out there watching. He knows Henry like like a book. He's easy to read. Lydia asks Henry would you stay with me tonight? And they hold hands and fall asleep. Isn't that cute? Henry, you're a dumbass. Oh my God, he's driving me. It's like, how stupid are you? I think if nothing else, he's related to Sam somewhere in that line. I don't know. Next morning, of course, Daryl comes down and he sees them holding hands there. And Lady asks, my ear is really hurting. Do you still have those pills? Promising not to attack him this time. Okay. And she confessed that she was trying to get intel from them, and that if her mom did find Luke and Autumn, then they're probably dead. And she goes on to explain her people are always on the move. They just, they don't want them coming back, telling them, what they saw, where they were, so they kill them. And they move on. And her memories are mostly a lie fabricated by her mother. Oh, here we go. Well, do we believe this or not? I don't know. She confesses her father was caring and her mother was the mom monster. She gives new meaning to that word, apparently. While trying to escape the shelter, Frank got cornered and murdered by her mother. Thanks for the plug, Chris. He's over here just... him and his freaks. Yeah. But, it's all been lies from her. I know her. Yeah, well, yeah, we know her mom's a monster. She's the leader of the group. The Waltzing Dead on KBLC, brought to you by Cannabiz Kings. Yes, the freaks have been in the studio again, apparently. Yeah, she explains that, they're probably dead because they don't want them to report back. You're crazy. Crazy. But yeah, this girl is, I'm done with her already too. But anyway, where people would kill them so they don't tell them we're there. And then they just move on. They leave it behind. Oh well, too bad. And damn well, she's not going to leave her daughter behind. So Frank, her dad, got cornered and murdered by her mom, trying to escape the shelter. Now that I can believe. And we're back in the cell, and she apologizes to Daryl for wasting his time. But he says she didn't, and I'm just like, okay, you didn't waste my time. Yeah, you did. Actually, maybe not, because Henry got some more out of her. But that's going to prove a lie also, due to the end of the episode. You're goofy. Oh dear. This episode is basically the backstory for Alpha, I think. How she became Alpha, what had happened, and how Lydia is the way she is. So, she was 6-ish, 7, whatever. And, okay, some of it she probably doesn't. Her mom has told her the same story, so she believes that that's what happened. Then we cut back, and there's Magda and Yumiko return to Hilltop, and Yumiko goes up on the guard tower there, the walkway, and, you know, she apologizes to Tara, and they should have talked to her about it first. And Tara says, just do me a favor, just tell me the next time, okay? And suddenly, Yumiko spots something. Oh, of course they have, Chris. They're always here. They just come and go as they please. Ike needs to fix that lock again, but of course they get into it. But suddenly, something catches Yumiko's eye. She gets the binoculars out, and she spots a small group of whisperers approaching Hilltop. Connie and Kelly are also out there. She sees them, and they get split up. Here's the bald-headed woman. Here come a horde of whisperers. Here's the bald-headed woman in the front. And introduces herself. I am Alpha, telling them, and I want my daughter back. I want my daughter. It's like, okay, wow. So, are they going to give Lydia up? Yeah, no. We saw kind of the preview. They was like, you can't have her. There will be conflict. I'm like, ooh, shades of Tara. As far as Gone with the Wind, there will be conflict. Crazy. What do you guys think? What did you think of the flashbacks in this episode? For one. So that was a lie that Lydia said, oh, they probably just killed him and moved on. They won't come for me. Of course she's going to come for her. That's her daughter. So that was kind of a lie. She knows better. I really think she did. She knew Mom was going to come for her. So this was kind of Alpha's backstory. I think they had to give us a little bit of what Alpha was doing. Crazy. You know, there's Henry being an idiot. I mean, there will be blood. That blood, too. I'm sure. There will be blood. There will be conflict. So, yeah, shades of Gone with the Wind there. Take her back to Tara. Anyway, Henry's flirting. Wow. And the reason he got in trouble because he was, you know, spurned by the other one. They're just all messed up. I don't know. Lydia's dad, I think he was just desperate. He would have risked her life to flee from the basement with her. Had Mom not stopped him, maybe. I don't know. Yes, there will be blood, lots of it. Woo, woo. And he go like, bitch. He grumbled before he started cutting off the beard that his wife had always liked. But Lydia was really manipulative. He had Henry spilling his guts for crying out loud. He should get Dumbest Character of the Year award. That's for sure. And he's like, you got family at the kingdom, Nimrod. What is wrong with him? He's telling her everything. Yeah, it's the kingdom. And but thank God, you know, he didn't say Nimrod, but he should have, actually. He really should have. Henry was more upset that Daryl and others were listening to his conversations. Oh, grow up, get over it. Yes, there will be waltzing also. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All as we saw, they have Alden and Luke, of course. We'll find out what happens to him because Daryl's like, you can't have her. And I'm like, Daryl, don't be a dumbass. You're just asking for it. But I think the conflict would have happened anyway, and if they would give her back. So, and they come across, Tara and them, like I said, came across, you had Tara, Magna, Yumiko, Kelly, Connie, and Cal. They came across some regular walkers. Okay. I don't know if that's even, but anyway, they were feasting on Luke and Alden's horses there. They had been cut open and skinned by, of course, our new Walker breed, the Whisperers. They wanted to split up and cover more ground, and Tara's like, no. Tara's like, yeah, no, don't think so. She's well aware Lydia had told enough lies to sprout a foot-long nose. The Hilltops leader suggested that they head back and come up with a real plan. Oh, a way to go, Tara. Good for you. So if her mom had killed, Daryl took another stab at Lydia here. If her mom had Alden and Luke killed, and what would she do? Would she kill him? She said she'd do what she had to do. A simple yes would have been fine. Yeah, Alpha gives Monster Mom a new name for sure. The way she tackled, her mom tackled that survivor down in that base, I was like, whoa, the Whispering Dead. Shh. Yes, the Whispering Dead. Yes. Yes, Chris, definitely. Of course, they're down in this basement. You get almost like cabin fever. Yeah, he panicked. But he panicked in the noisy sort of way that would attract the walkers and get them all killed. But she really pinned him down. Put his arm against his neck and strangled him. She's like, you are weak and pathetic. There is no room for you here, so shut your mouth. Do you hear me? Shut your mouth. I'm like, whoa. He didn't really hear her because he was already dead. So now it seems like Frank was a nurturing parent, scared of his wife, and singing Lydia the Tattooed Lady to their daughter. So, but Daryl told Lydia it didn't have to be that way. Only it appeared that it did. And, she attacked him in the process, and of course she revealed the scars on her arm. But I like the newbies, kind of, because they did come back, and they were really scared of pissing Tara off, disobey the rules. So they had a good thing there, and they knew it. So, and if it were up to Luke, Kelly pointed out he'd continue the search. He'd be hell-bent on getting and keeping them together. So they did. That's what they did, even though they risked really ticking Tara off. I like when he came in with the switch. That was great. Anybody ever get switched? I did get switched. We had a belt, and Mom said, I'm getting the belt. We'd all scatter, the three of us. But anybody out there ever get switched with a switch? I don't know. Some people have that I know of. Daryl said Frank sounded like the kind of dad who'd make up an excuse just to wail on his kid. And he's like, those dads, they like it when you're scared. Ooh, Daryl. And he added that was the only part of the story he believed this far. Well, yeah. My mom, Lydia said, he's like, so who gave you those scars? My mom. And where was she? Be glad you don't know. He just couldn't figure out why she was protecting her mom when, of course, she was safer where she's at. But she's like, this place isn't real, and she still believes this place isn't real. And all these places like this are going to fall. And if her mom was hard, so what? When you stay soft, people die. The Whisperers is kind of a cult type thing, brainwashing and all that. And that's how she was brought up since she was like 6 or 7-ish, around that age. So, people, when you're soft, people die. So, there were some other flashbacks, and but it'll make sense eventually. I was a little confused. I had to watch it like 3 times. Mom had her head shaved, and Frank had his beard back in these flashbacks. Whoa, wait a minute. But it was only a little while after Mom had killed that survivor. And she had the longer hair then, and Dad had been clean-shaven. But, it was actually the opposite. Her mom had shaved her head. And during the night, that night, she got up to look at that dead man, and when it reanimated, her father was killed trying to save her. And she's like, he was soft, and now he's dead. Okay, that's matter of fact. And Daryl's like, what else could he have done? But protect her if you can't. And she's like, if you can't bend, you break. Reading from the Book of Alpha, obviously, and he broke. And, of course, she said, you're hard, they're soft, you don't belong here. As soon as Daryl left, Henry's all over him, asking him questions. What's going to happen to her? Did someone used to beat you up? Bah. Shut up, Henry. Henry told his guardian he'd once heard Ezekiel ask Carol why she kept her hair so short, and it was because Ed used to grab it, which is true. And so she said one day, so she cut it all off, which is true. That's what Carol said. And she has long hair now, so she feels safe now. And it took her that long. So maybe Daryl could show Lydia that she has nothing to be scared of. You can do that, the teen pleaded. Only you. Daryl replied, not just me. There's something being hatched there. We don't know what. Could be a kind-hearted one, we don't know. But something is going on nonetheless, that is for sure. And while Yumiko and Magna and then Connie and Kelly were in the woods, Yumiko said she couldn't stop thinking about Coalport. They'd had to leave their post. Magna argued that or die. Yumiko still didn't want to die, obviously. So when the walker attacked over it, she's like, let's go back. Because, she's not ready. Just like, nope, I'm not dying out here. And you should have been out there to begin it. Kelly broke down. Luke's family, she cried. I get it, but I don't know why she's being overdramatic about this. And she'll find out soon, believe me. And he'd been one who found her. I can't leave him out here. I can't. It's like, get your shit together and pull it together, girl. But Connie agreed to stay. You see from the bushes that there's a whisperer watching them, of course. Connie stayed with her sister while they went back to Hilltop. And then then we're back at the jail again. Henry told Lydia Daryl didn't know he was there. I'm going to let you out just for a bit. And he's like, he said he talked to her the next day, but he couldn't wait. Oh, you love-struck dummy. And because he goes, I like you, he told Lydia. I think you're a good person. Who talks like that, number one? I don't know. And, I'm going to let you out just for a bit. And then, a move would have clinched his win. As, of course, as we say, he should get the award for dumbest character ever. But, of course, Daryl was out there watching. You got did you? Yeah, you turned out just fine. Definitely worked. I just read what you said. I'm sorry. Yeah, I got the belt. I didn't get it switched. So, ouch. Ooh, ouchie. That had to hurt. I mean, just the ooh, ow. Henry even went the extra mile. Bless his stupid heart. And he ate a worm. I'd be like, you know what? No, go ahead. Have at it. Number one, she wouldn't even be out, but she's over there having dinner. Cheap date, that's for sure. I love Daryl watching them because I was part of the plan. I'll bet it did. Ooh, I know that when we were littler, Mom used a spoon, that wooden spoon thing. Yeah. Eventually, it broke on my brother's, so she had to go to Elsa. And we had this belt that hung up in a hook. And it was one of my dad's old police belts, and they're wide. And whoo, don't put your hands back there, that's for sure. Mom would say, I'm getting the belt, and we would all scatter, like I said. So she had to choose who to go after. We were so bad as kids. Terrible. But we probably deserved it, so. Hey, you probably did. You're so rotten, Chris. But apparently that was, they went out for dinner. They ate worms. And that was, of course, it seemed like that was one of the Whisper's preferred snacks, snack of choice. So there you go. He never kissed her, though. Can't imagine why. And of course, she's looking around and everything. I love she's grabbing the hammer. It's like, you dummy. No. I don't even have a word for him. I really don't. And she's like, places like this aren't supposed to exist. And then when she heard the baby cry, I think that's when the dam broke. Of course, a series of flashbacks happened that revealed that her mother, not her father, had always been the hard one. And, of course, asked to be locked back up. But would he stay with her, please? I'm like, oh, gag me. And they held hands. Yeah, pull up a piece of floor. I couldn't have slept on that floor. Well, apparently the following morning, like we were talking, she was ready to tell the whole truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. Yeah, right. And for starters, her mom wouldn't be coming for her. And just a little while later, surprise, there she was. They just move on like they never existed. Okay. So she'd been trying to learn more about Hilltop and Kingdom to give her mom a reason to take her back. And I was like, Henry's like, you're her daughter. Does that not matter? Why do you talk like this? It's like, don't it matter? That's what he should have said. Yeah, no. If Mom had Luke and Alden, there'd be no reason she'd keep them alive. Does she have a camp? Yes, about a mile east of the guard bridge. But they wouldn't stay long. They never did. Is that where they're camped? I don't know. And Henry asked if the stuff about her family had been true. She thought so. It was a lie. But the lie wasn't mine. My mom told it to me over and over for years. But deep down, I knew what she was. I knew what she did. Okay, which was what exactly there, Lydia? When Mom's first victim came, of course, they didn't know to have to hit him in the head to kill him, because he came back, of course, as a walker. She'd begun breaking the boards off the windows to leave with her family. Frank had balked at the notion of taking Lydia out there, and so she'd taken advantage of the chaos to step on Lydia's stuffed bunny and murder him. Okay. But it just showed what a heartless monster she was, even when he was little. She was little. And when Daryl and Henry left Lydia, Daryl said he was going to talk to Tara about letting her stay. Or, not those exact words. That's what we're getting from it, but was it really? We don't know. And Henry's like, I'm glad that you and my mom are friends. Okay, well, yeah. And, of course, here come the Whisperers. Their guards were bringing back Kelly and Connie. And, of course, a power-walking group of Whisperers was right behind them. They grabbed Kelly and brought her back in. Connie had to run into the cornfield there. And, of course, here we go. Among the Whisperers was one without a walker skin and bald head. And like I said, she announced, I am Alpha, and we only want one thing from you, my daughter. I'm like, ooh. Those people give me chills. They really do. And I think they're a hell of a larger group than we first thought, I think. So, what did you think about Alpha and Lydia's backstory? How much do you really believe? Yeah, her mom was a monster. I believe that. But I don't know, what exactly has your mom done all these years to you? But again, you have to take it with a grain of salt because, no, my mom's not coming for me. Oh, there she is. Oops, sorry, she did come for me. I don't know. I love Alpha's character, though. I really do so far. She's, those cold, dead eyes of hers is like, ooh, they're like shark eyes, dead, right? They're just cold and, ooh, she's spooky. I think she's spookier without the mask on, if you ask me. Wow. Wow, what a character. I'm loving it so far. Lydia and Henry are going to get on my last nerve. I see that coming already. Henry already has. I'm just going to call him Sam Jr., I swear to God, because they got to be related somewhere, because, wow, he's just as dumb. Yeah, he's telling her everything. Why didn't you just give her a map? I mean, that would be more helpful. If Daryl hadn't intervened, that might have been the next thing. It's hard telling. What do you think of Daryl's handling of Lydia? What do you think? Is he doing the right? I think he's doing the right thing almost because he's trying to be nicer and everything to make her feel safe. But what is the true agenda here? And of course, yeah, my mom's not coming. What a lie. There she is, right outside the gate. So, and then in the previews, of course, you hear, you can't have her. I'm like, oh. And then you got Alpha out there. There will be conflict. I'm like, okay, all right. I love the accent in this. I really do. It's great. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen to Luke and Alden. I have a feeling one definitely is not going to make it. So about that. Definitely one is not going to make it. I don't think one of them's coming back. It's just, I don't know. They could pick him off from up there, I think. Couldn't they? I mean, why don't they just shoot him? Why don't they just shoot him with arrows and be done with them instead of listening to it? They're not like that, though. They're not like the Whisperers, so I guess they wouldn't. But, they could pick him off right there, if you ask me. That's my opinion. Let me see if I can give you a few insights on next week's show. Let's see what I can come up with. If you don't want to hear about it, then don't listen. They're confirming we're going to see one of the dead people are going to return in next week's episode. It's called Bounty, by the way, next week. One of our departed characters is going to be on next week, so we shall see. There's going to be a surprising yet very familiar face. Let's see. There's two characters arrive on horseback. So there's going to be some flashbacks in there. Let's see. Trying to see what that's. So that's going to be interesting. I'm not going to say who it is. So I'm not going to totally spoil it for you. But it is called Bounty. And of course, Daryl refuses Alpha's request because we saw that. You can't have her. Okay. Crazy. We have survivors at Hilltop and Alexandria, of course. And the Whisper. The survivors at Hilltop and the Whisperers are on a collision course that can only end one way. Death, we know. It's likely this is not going to end in a violence-free trade. Of course not. Let's see. Let's see. Daryl seems to have warmed up to her enough that killing her isn't on the table anymore, but we'll see. There's definitely going to be death coming, for sure. But who's going to die next if he doesn't hand over Liz? We're going to be Luke or Alden, or both. We don't know. That doesn't mean they're going to both die. We shall see. But what if Luke walked himself right into a situation that will lead to his death? They've already killed one, of course, Jesus. But what if they kill a member of Magna's group? So, with Alden, he seems to be in a worse position than Luke. And there's also the fact that the recent episodes revealed that he and Enid are now together. And she reacts to something in the promo. So, is it going to be Alden that gets it? So, we shall see about that. Apparently, Connie's going to have her own issues, including the walkers, because she's out in the cornfield. Including walkers that are out there. And it's not like the Whisperers that are going to go help her, right? So, we shall see. But she could be the safest person outside of Hilltop right now. We shall see. Just because there are 3 in danger at the end of this episode doesn't mean they're the only ones on the chopping block. What if someone sneaks out to try and help or make a move on the Whisperers? What is going to happen? The Kingdom is going to be dealing with walkers, according to the episode 11 promo. But what if someone dies, but not at Alpha's hands? Whatever happens, we know one thing. Alpha and the Whisperers are likely to kill at least one of the survivors soon. It's going to happen. So, I guess we'll have to wait and see who it is. I told you there's some flashbacks. We're going to see one of our departed characters come back in flashbacks. Woohoo, I can't wait. But I'm not going to tell you who it is. You'll have to watch and find out. So that kind of wraps it up for this week's episode. I thought it was a great episode. We kind of learned Lydia's mindset and the backstory of Alpha, pretty much. She was just a bitch from the beginning, apparently. And just, being soft gets people killed or gets you killed. So you got to be hard, apparently. And that's what makes Alpha Alpha. I hope we see Beta soon, too. Speaking of which, but that's what's going on. And I'm not sure. I take some of it. That could be the truth with her. She realizes it was her mom all along, yada, yada. But is she ready to give up her mom and the Whisperers? That's her family. Unless, of course, I think Michelle said that in the comics it was Carl and her, maybe. Henry's kind of taken that place. Oh, sorry, you don't do the job. Maybe Henry says, well, I'll go back with you. Are you serious? That would not surprise me either. So, I think Luke or Alden is going to get it next week for sure. I got to show they mean business, and they're going to. There's some other stuff coming up later on that's going to be just it'll blow your mind, believe me. So, we're going to leave it at that. I'll let you ponder who the flashback character is, and we'll see who dies next week. So, wasn't that fun? It was a great episode. I liked it. I love Alpha's character. I love her accent. It's great. So, we'll leave on that note. Thanks, Chris, for stopping by. Much appreciated. And of course, again, thank you, King's Cannabiz, for sponsoring us. Absolutely love it. Thank you so much. So, a couple shout outs I have. Of course, to Horror Junkies, Art of Darkness, Walking Dead Freak Show. Check it out. Jason Boyce and Michelle. Check that out on Facebook. King Barker and Beyond. Horror Three Ring Circus, of course. All these groups, shout out. You gotta love it. Trying to think what else is coming up. I'm not sure what's happening tomorrow. Yes, thank you. I know you're working on that book, Chris, so I appreciate you taking the time out. I'm not sure about tomorrow, but definitely Thursday. Join me for TWD. We're going to do a metal show. And thank you, Chris, for your input. He gave me some great names, metal bands. So we will get into that Thursday night. So exciting. Friday, of course, we have Hollywood Review, and then our biggest freak of all, Chris Stevens, will be on with Freaks in the Basement. Can't miss that, because those freaks are always up to chaos and mayhem and wrecking the studio. So, that's coming up. And of course, Supernatural Saturday. We will both be on this weekend. Michelle and I will combine the show. So looking exciting to that. I think I'll have to get with Michelle. Maybe every other Monday she'll be on with me. Because when we do BLB, we don't do Walking Dead. It'll be on Tuesday. But when we're not doing Planet BLB, I'll see if she can be on Monday. That's what we'll do, because it would be so much more fun than listening to me just yap on and on. So, anyway, we have Henry being a dumbass. Daryl's playing it well. He reversed the psychology on that one, and it worked. He got some info. Lydia's just messed up. She is so freaking messed up in the head. I don't know what to believe. Yeah, Mom's not coming for me. Yep, there she is. Guess who? It's not the Avon lady, sorry. But, yeah, so I don't know. We shall see what happens on Sunday. Can't wait to find out. And let me know what you think about the dead character coming back. Ooh, it's going to be exciting. All right, guys, y'all have a great night. Enjoy the rest of it. Have a great day. Peace out, y'all.
So I'll bring my demons. You preach destruction, my blade is sharpened. You better watch out, 'cause my cut runs deep. Because you know, because you know,
die.
No, I don't. But I will. It's gonna happen. And if me dying could stop this, if it can make things different for us, for you, for all those other kids, it'd be worth it. I mean, was this the plan? Was it supposed to be this way? Is this who you want it to be? All you need to do is survive tonight. This is my show. You said it. This is my plan. You're all gonna do it.
Reach for